Every great movie has a hero, someone battling impossible odds to reach their goal. But sometimes, the real story isn't on the screen, it's behind the scenes. Right now, on a film set, chaos might be unfolding. Filmmakers with grand visions push for perfection, but with those lofty dreams come unexpected disasters that can bring everything crashing down. Number 15. The Princess Bride. It's hard to believe that one of the most beloved fairy tale romances, The Princess Bride, 1987, almost didn't make it to the screen. For 15 years, several renowned filmmakers, including François Truffaut, Norman Jewison, and Robert Redford, tried and failed to secure funding for the film. It wasn't until Rob Reiner, who calls the novel his all-time favorite, came along that the project finally gained traction. Thanks to the success of his earlier films, This Is Spinal Tap, 1984, and Stand By Me, 1986, Reiner convinced 20th Century Fox to back the movie. Number 14. Heart Huckabees. The on-set disagreements between director David O. Russell and actress Lily Tomlin during the filming of Heart Huckabees 2004 are well documented.
Fuck you! I'm just trying to fucking help you. Do you understand me?
No,
I'm being a fucking collaborator. I was trying to help you figure out the fucking picture. Hey, bitch, I'm not here to be fucking yelled at. I worked on this fucking thing for 3 fucking years, not to have some fucking cunt yell at me in front of the fucking crew when I'm trying to fucking help you, bitch. Figure it out yourself.
Well, I have to figure it out.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Good, why don't you fuck your home?
Their conflicts, which included heated exchanges and unprofessional behavior, were captured on video and widely circulated online, offering an unvarnished look into the challenges of their collaboration. Despite these tensions, the production was completed without any physical altercations. Heart Huckabees, an existential comedy, faced a difficult reception. Critics provided mixed reviews, and the film's box office performance was underwhelming, failing to resonate with a broad audience. Number 13. Cleopatra. From the very start, Cleopatra, 1963, was a disaster for 20th Century Fox. Originally directed by Ruben Mamoulian, the production was handed over to Joseph L. Mankiewicz after filming had already begun. The cast was in turmoil, with actors quitting, and Elizabeth Taylor, the film's star, suffered a life-threatening illness. The production was initially planned for London, but was moved to Rome, leaving the expensive London sets a costly waste. Adding to the chaos was the scandalous affair between Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, both married to others at the time, creating a PR nightmare. In total, Cleopatra cost $44 million to make, around $320 million today. Despite being the highest-grossing film of 1963, it nearly bankrupted the studio. To make matters worse, the film itself was widely criticized for being overly long and sluggishly paced. Number 12. Jaws. Steven Spielberg was just an up-and-coming filmmaker when he was hired to direct Jaws in 1974. Initially, the studio wanted him to use a real shark for the film, but Spielberg decided to go with a mechanical one, defying the studio's wishes. At first, this seemed like a terrible choice. The mechanical shark malfunctioned constantly, sinking to the bottom of the ocean and rusting in the saltwater. The situation could have spelled disaster for Spielberg. However, the director channeled his inner film student, wondering how Alfred Hitchcock might approach the problem. "I had no choice but to figure out how to tell the story without the shark," Spielberg recalled. "So I just went back to Alfred Hitchcock. What would Hitchcock do in a situation like this? It's what we don't see, which is truly frightening." This decision to show less of the shark turned out to be a stroke of genius. Jaws became one of the biggest box office hits in cinematic history, essentially creating the summer blockbuster. More than 40 years later, the film's suspense still leaves generations of viewers terrified of swimming in the ocean. Number 11. Chinatown. Film sets can be a breeding ground for tension, and the infamous feud between eccentric director Roman Polanski and temperamental actress Faye Dunaway during the filming of Chinatown, 1974, has become Hollywood lore. The friction seemed to stem from Polanski's abrasive treatment of Dunaway, famously telling her, "Say the fucking words. Your salary is your motivation." The conflict reached its peak when Polanski refused to allow Dunaway a bathroom break during a scene. In retaliation, she urinated in a coffee cup while sitting in the car on set and then threw it in Polanski's face. Despite the animosity, Chinatown became a major box office success and remains one of the most highly regarded neo-noir films in cinema history. Number 10. Twilight Zone, the movie. Twilight Zone, the movie, 1983, is an anthology film made up of 4 different stories. Sadly, the segment directed by John Landis, titled A Quality of Mercy, ended in a devastating accident. During the filming of a scene involving a helicopter chase, actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors were running across a river when a faulty pyrotechnic explosion caused the helicopter to crash, killing Morrow and the 2 children. Compounding the tragedy, Landis had not obtained legal permission to have the children on set for nighttime filming, violating child labor laws. The incident led to a highly publicized legal case, but in the end, no one was found criminally responsible. Number 9. Back to the Future. Back to the Future, 1985, may be seen as a classic today, but at the time it was a tough sell. Director Robert Zemeckis and co-writer Bob Gale shopped the script around Hollywood and faced over 40 rejections. Many studios thought the story was too sweet for the edgier trends of the time. Then there was Disney, which balked at the concept, finding the plotline unthinkable. One executive at Disney famously told Zemeckis and Gale, "Are you guys out of your minds? You can't make a movie like this here. This is Disney, and you're pitching us a story about incest. The kid with his mother in the car, that's horrible." After numerous setbacks, Zemeckis turned to his friend Steven Spielberg, who ultimately persuaded Universal to greenlight the film. Number 8. The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz, 1939, may be beloved by generations of children, but the production left lasting physical and emotional scars on many of its cast members. Buddy Ebsen, originally cast as the Tin Man, suffered a severe reaction to the aluminum powder in his makeup, leading to lung failure and a 2-week hospitalization. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, endured severe burns to her hands and face after an on-set fire went wrong, and her stunt double was also injured. Ray Bolger, who portrayed the Scarecrow, developed permanent facial scars from the rubber mask he wore daily. The set conditions were also grueling, as the intense heat required for the Technicolor process caused several actors and crew members to faint. Combine that with numerous script rewrites and 3 different directors during production, and it's astonishing that this classic film was completed at all. Number 7. Waterworld. Perhaps Waterworld, 1995, is one film that arguably should not have been made. Shot on the open sea off the coast of Hawaii, the production faced significant challenges, including hurricanes and the logistical difficulties of working on water. Initially budgeted at $100 million, costs ballooned to $180 million, approximately $335 million today, making it the most expensive film ever produced at that time. The film also underwent numerous last-minute script changes and involved a revolving door of screenwriters, further complicating the production process. All these factors contributed to a tumultuous journey for a movie that ultimately received mixed reviews and struggled at the box office. Number 6. Titanic. James Cameron's epic love story set on an unsinkable ship, Titanic, 1997, faced numerous challenges, many of which were self-imposed by the director. With a budget exceeding $200 million, then the most expensive film ever made, Cameron oversaw the construction of a massive studio that spanned 6 acres and featured a 17 million-gallon water tank, along with a 750-foot-long replica of the actual Titanic. The production was not without its controversies, including a shocking incident where 2 disgruntled chefs allegedly spiked the soup with PCP, resulting in 50 cast and crew members falling ill. Additionally, Cameron earned a reputation for being tough on actors, often making them endure freezing water for long periods. Kate Winslet reflected on her experience working with him, saying, "You would have to pay me a lot of money to work with Jim again. If anything was the slightest bit wrong, he would totally lose it. It was hard to concentrate when he was shouting and screaming." Despite the tumultuous production, Titanic went on to win 11 Oscars in 1998, including Best Director and Best Picture, solidifying its place in cinematic history. Number 5. Star Wars Episode IV: A New Hope. Young George Lucas initially signed a 2-picture deal with Universal for American Graffiti, 1973, and a little film called Star Wars, 1977. While American Graffiti became a box office hit, Universal made the colossal mistake of letting go of its option on Star Wars, as science fiction was deemed a dead genre at the time. The marketing team struggled to find a way to promote the film, and many insiders were so skeptical that they believed it would end up as Hollywood's laughingstock. Fortunately for Lucas, he found a strong ally in Alan Ladd Jr., the president of 20th Century Fox. Ladd believed in the young director's vision and supported him wholeheartedly throughout the entire production process. This partnership proved crucial in bringing Star Wars to the big screen, ultimately changing the landscape of cinema forever. Number 4. The Shining. The tales surrounding the making of Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, The Shining, 1980, have reached legendary status. Known for his perfectionism, Kubrick was one of Hollywood's most meticulous directors, often requiring multiple takes of each scene until he felt they were just right. A prime example is the iconic Here's Johnny scene, where Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson, breaks through a door with an axe. This brief moment took 3 days to film and resulted in the destruction of over 60 doors. What was initially slated for a 100-day shoot ballooned to 250 days. Kubrick's intense approach took a toll on actress Shelley Duvall. Reports indicate that the stress caused her hair to fall out and nearly pushed her to a nervous breakdown. Additionally, Kubrick made the unconventional choice to shoot the film in chronological order, a decision that added to the complexity and duration of the production. Number 3. Apocalypse Now. The production of Francis Ford Coppola's epic masterpiece, Apocalypse Now, 1979, was fraught with difficulties from start to finish. Lead actor Harvey Keitel was fired just 2 weeks into filming and replaced by Martin Sheen, who was grappling with his own struggles with alcohol. The set, located in the Philippines, was a scene of utter chaos. Coppola was writing the script as they shot, cast members fell ill from severe tropical diseases, and the crew faced massive typhoons that battered the islands. Amidst this turmoil, a fire broke out, and there were even tiger attacks reported. Wild parties filled with cocaine further added to the mayhem, and Marlon Brando's notorious diva behavior created additional challenges for everyone involved. After a typhoon forced a month-long halt in production, many crew members refused to return to the jungle with Coppola. Despite his apprehension, Martin Sheen ultimately decided to go back, telling friends, "I don't know if I'm going to live through this." His fears were not unfounded, as he later suffered a heart attack while on location. Number 2. The Revenant. The Revenant, 2015, tells the true story of a frontiersman who bravely fights against the harsh elements to survive. However, many crew members described their time working on the film as the worst experience of their careers. They endured frigid temperatures, and the production was further complicated by director Alejandro Iñárritu's insistence on shooting the film in chronological order. This approach proved grueling, leading several crew members to quit mid-filming due to the challenging conditions. Despite the tumultuous production, the film ultimately achieved remarkable success. Both Leonardo DiCaprio and Iñárritu won Academy Awards for their exceptional work, and The Revenant became a box office hit. Number 1. The Abyss. There's a reason James Cameron has earned the title of the scariest man in Hollywood. The Making of The Abyss, 1989, has been deemed one of the most challenging films ever to shoot, largely due to its underwater setting, which presents a host of difficulties for filmmakers. On the very first day of production, the 150,000-gallon water tank constructed for the film began to leak. Once shooting finally commenced, Cameron faced a near-drowning incident while setting up a shot in the tank. To add to the challenges, the actors were required to become certified divers, and no stunt doubles were used throughout the filming. Actress Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio experienced an emotional breakdown as the cast endured grueling 12-hour days while submerged 40 feet underwater. The crew's situation was even more demanding. They worked at even greater depths, requiring them to undergo decompression to surface safely. The entire experience was a testament to the film's ambitious vision, but it certainly took a toll on everyone involved.